Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. We are going to make this a quick announcement because I am playing hooky at the moment, so we are going to try to keep this as tight as possible. But I have an announcement. For the last several weeks, last couple of weeks, maybe 2 weeks, people have been asking in the comment section, Reggie, what's going on with this? Reggie, what's going on with that? And I don't know what people expected. I guess they expected me to actually break the news in the comment section, but that's not going to happen. Not when I am a content creator, and that is what I do, create content. We're not going to ruin it. We're not going to spoil it by responding in the comment section. We're going to save it for a video, and that's what we're going to do right now. We are doing a second printing of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. We are going to make some magic happen, people. Doug and I and Scott have been working hard, and others, I will say, and others to be revealed later. We have been working hard to still do a couple of things that have yet to be revealed, but will be forthcoming. But we've also been working to try to make some magic happen with this second print. And the big question has always been, would there be enough interest in doing a second print? Like, we have always had plans to do some stuff, but you never know. You never know how things are going to land on people. You never know whether there's going to be enough demand to warrant you doing the additional work, but you want to have a plan in the event that there is demand, and there has been. There has been strong demand and strong interest. Every day I get messages from people like, so where can I get a copy? Where can I get a copy? Where can I get a copy? And earlier today, I heard that A1 Comics has actually sold out of the copies that they picked up for me. I think they sold out in possibly 3 days, which again is a very, very good sign and gives us the confidence that maybe we should do a second printing. I don't know how large the second printing will be. I will tell you that. But this is what I will tell you. We have added some additional content. We have added an additional chapter to the guide that we are going to eventually roll out to you guys, hopefully before the end of the holiday season. We're not quite ready to release it, but we are making efforts to get it ready to be printed and all that kind of stuff, and ultimately in your hands by the end of the holiday season. And that is a little bit nebulous. Yes, I know, but it takes time to make magic happen. So what I will tell you is, in this new chapter, we are going to cover things like 2021 in review, because we're basically at the end of the year. 2021 in review, comics and sports cards, and the overlap that exists between those things. Comics as escapism, original art, and seller regret are just some of the topics that we are going to touch on in this final chapter that has actually been added. Now, here's the thing. Doug and I are good writers. There's no doubt about that, right? Doug and I think, are pretty solid writers that have a track record of putting out good content, but we decided to broaden our reach. We decided to reach out into the comic book community to tap other folks out there that have a point of view, a perspective, and even some expertise. And they are lending their support to us. And I am specifically talking about people like Nick from Key Collector app. He has written some content for the guide. Fire Guy Ryan from Comic Tom 101 has stepped up to hook us up with some content. White Whale Comics, my man Alec, as you guys know Alec. Alec is a super talented guy. He has lent some assistance. Matt Tuck and also Norman Robinson, both are fantastic writers and bloggers that have put out a lot of great content over the last couple of years. And then my man Neo, aka Rob, has also stepped up. So those are some of the guest content creators that have heard the cry and have contributed some content that is going to go in this new chapter that we are going to be rolling out to you guys. And one of the big questions, first appearance of Neo. Well done. One of the big questions that people have, of course, is, are you going to jack up the price? Are you going to jack up the price? No, we're not. We're going to keep the guide at the exact same price, $11.99. And because the goal is to put this out there to help comic book collectors, right? So we don't want to futz with the price. Is going to be the price. We're hoping to be able to secure another sponsor or two that's going to help us to buy down the cost associated with printing, because I can tell you for a fact that printing is not cheap. I was talking with the printer earlier today. In fact, he's in Puerto Rico. This dude worked over Thanksgiving to make some things happen for me. So shout out to him. But here's what I will also tell you: in addition to some new content that is being added, we are also going to change the cover. We are going to change the cover, and we're going to offer up a trade dress cover, a virgin variant cover, and we're also going to have like a secret variant. We're going to have a secret variant that it'll be in a very small number of copies that will be printed. And here's what we're going to do. We're not going to change the price of them. We're not going to give you the ability to pick. What we are going to do is basically say, look, the content that is contained within this guide is fantastic. It is helpful content. Buy the guide. If you buy the guide, then you will randomly have a chance to get the trade dress, the virgin, or the secret variant. That's how we're going to do it. We're not going to offer it up and offer different prices, because the value of this is honestly in the guide itself. So that's how we're going to do it. Trade dress, virgin, and basically a rare version of the guide that'll be offered up. New chapter, same great price. Dude, what is Tina talking about? Something shiny? Oh, Tina, you are hilarious. Tina, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would love to bling this thing out, Tina. I'm just happy to have some color on this guide. That's how expensive printing is right now. I'm just happy to have it printed and to have some actual color on a page or two. We may have to save up. We may have to save up for the shiny foil action later on down the line. But the guide is currently available for pre-order right now on regiecollects.com. If you go here, let me actually pull it up real quick. We're actually going to go to the site together so that we can, oh, that is not what I wanted. They have added all kinds of new features to my interface here, and they kind of look like the old features. So I'm kind of clicking on the wrong thing, but this is the website. This is regiecollects.com. And up here at the top, Smart Comic Collecting. I had to abbreviate it because I only have so much room in that top navigation. But if you click that, you actually go to the page, and you can see here a second printing of the guide is coming thanks to your continued interest and enthusiasm you have demonstrated. You basically click that link and you will be able to pre-order. Again, this is a pre-order, and our hope is to have the guide in your hands by the end of the holiday season. So if you click that, you can actually do your pre-order. And then down here, we mentioned that there's new content, new cover art. And then further down, we say, stay tuned for the cover reveal. And the cover reveal will actually happen hopefully on December 5th. On December 5th, my goal is to actually show you what this cover will look like. I think that the cover is pretty dope. But again, what you guys are hopefully signing up for is a great guide, is an informative guide that will help people out there. And again, I don't know how big the print run is going to be. My general feeling, honestly, is that the print guide or the print run is going to be as large as it needs to be to fulfill the pre-orders plus a little bit, right? My goal is not to get stuck with thousands of copies of the guide or hundreds of copies of the guide, to be honest with you. One person has already bought. There you go. That's what that ding was one successful, two successful orders have already come through. Thank you guys for that. My watch is going like crazy. So I lost my train of thought. But yeah, so the goal is to get the guide to you guys by the end of the holiday season. Doug, Scott, and I have a lot of work to still do to make this magic happen. But the team is focused. The team is determined to make magic happen. So I definitely encourage you guys to stay tuned. Let me go to the chat real quick. So I announced the other day, Richard, that we are going to offer up copies of the first print. We have 24 copies of the first print that are already en route to CGC right now. And I will make available possibly later this week the ordering page to get one of those 24 copies, because that's all that we're sending in of the first print is those 24 copies. So stay tuned for that. With regard to the second print, I have not arrived at a decision as to whether those are going to be submitted in for CGC or not. But the 24 that we have will be all yellow label. That's it. Just yellow label, no blue label of the first print. I don't know what I'm going to do for the second print. I honestly don't know. My goal is to try to get the thing done and out to people, and then try to figure out some of the other stuff on the back end. So hopefully you appreciate that. Oh, well done. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I tell you, man, we had a solid plan for doing something, and it did not materialize, but thankfully we always have a backup plan or several. So Ken is asking a question as to whether there will be a digital copy in the future. You know, we debated that. And I think we mentioned this. We debated whether we should go Substack, whether we should divide out the evergreen content from the not so evergreen content and make it available either apart or together as a digital option in some way, shape, or form. People are collectors. People are collectors, and I think people like hard copies of things, especially if they're reference material, right? So I do not know if I will ever do a digital version. I'm not saying that I won't. I'm saying that at the moment, I have zero plans to do a digital thing. The goal, again, is to create hard copy reference stuff that can sit on the desk and be referenced and you know, referred to from time to time. So Patrick says he just picked up one. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Marcus said, can you hear Overstreet shaking in their boots? Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you, well, never, let me not ruin that, because I have a topic that I will be discussing at some point. I told somebody about it like a week ago. I don't want to ruin it, because I would ruin it if I actually responded to that question. So we are not going to touch that. Shout out to Tina. Definitely appreciate that. Scrolling through. Brandon, thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. I live in Puerto Rico. Can I get a book? So here's what I will tell you. I think Puerto Rico is considered part of the United States. So yes, you can get a copy, but we are also doing international as well. So we are covering all of North America, and we are covering international. If you purchase the book, you will pay for the book at $11.99 plus $7 for shipping, because they jack up the rates during the holiday. So it costs me more to mail it out. So we're charging $7. If I incur additional cost to ship to you, like to Canada, what I will do is I'm going to cover the cost. I'm then going to send you a message to say, hey, I need you to pay the extra minus the $7 for shipping that you've paid to get this book to you. I will then ask you to send that money to me via PayPal so that I can be reimbursed. That's how we're going to do it. For people that are truly international, so in other countries like the UK, for example, that are not touching the United States, I have to go to FedEx in order to figure out how much it's going to cost. My discount is pretty substantial. I'm going to bill you the exact same amount as what it costs me to ship it minus the $7. So my point here is I am going to be fronting some cash to send stuff to you. Do not buy if you are not prepared to pay the additional. The good thing is that I've sent things to Sweden that have basically cost $48 minus the $7 that would have already been paid. So my point here is that shipping is relatively low, but it is a couple of bucks. So just do not order if you're not ready, because I don't want to be out of some cash, right? So there you go. Thomas Mayo just placed an order. Thank you, guys. I definitely appreciate that. We are not doing signed copies. I'm not doing signed copies. And here's the reason why. I am literally one person, and trying to match up somebody's order with this exact book that's been signed for this one person as an off is too much. That's too much for me to handle. And I can tell you, I processed a lot of orders over a couple of days. I cannot, as much as I would want to sign books for people, I just cannot. I don't have the manpower to be able to do that. So it's not about desire. It's about literally my inability to manage the logistics associated with that type of activity. So hopefully people appreciate that. And Tina's in here shouting out the fact that you can go to regiecollects.com to actually place an order. And again, these are all raw copies of the guide that are going to be coming out unsigned. We're going to be doing trade dress, virgin, and like a secret variant. And we're going to show you what all that stuff is. There's no way for you to order any one of those. You buy it, and I'm going to randomly put stuff in a box and send it out to people. That, again, I'm only one person, so I hope people understand that one. So scrolling through, Reggie collects NFT next. Hey, you never know, bro. You never know. We are always thinking, we are always planning. Doug, thank you for coming by again. Shout out to Doug for all of his hard work and making some magic happen and the work that he's about to do to finish this thing up. So shout out to him. Scrolling through, what's in the box? How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Scrolling down, I am way behind on the comments here. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions before I wrap up. Hawaiian punch in your face. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you, my friend. It is good to see you. Thank you for swinging by, hanging out just a little bit. My man, Scott, this guy, if you only knew what this guy is working on right now, if you only knew the work that he is putting in, I am very thankful for the team that's been assembled to help me with some of these projects, man, because honestly, without Scott and Doug, it would be impossible to do some of the things that I am doing right now. So I'm very, very thankful for the team that has been assembled to deliver some stuff. Thank you, Ken. I definitely appreciate that. A lot of people, man, a lot of people have been reading the book and have been providing nothing but wonderful feedback. Shout out to John. Definitely appreciate that, my friend. Well done. You know, you never know. You never know. So I do want to share one more thing with you guys before I get out of here, to the point of all of the wonderful positivity that has flowed towards Scott, Doug, and myself over the last little bit. The motivation that has been given to us to continue moving this thing forward into a second print is partly stuff like this. This is actually geekositymag.com, and shout out to Mikey Sutton for putting out all this crazy content that he's been putting out over the last couple of days. But he did a really wonderful review of the guide to smart comic collecting. And he released this a short while ago. It is a wonderful, wonderful review that I just read and I smiled and I kind of laughed out loud. So shout out to Mikey Sutton and his team for providing some coverage for the guide. And when I saw this, I was like, you know what? I probably need to announce the fact that we are doing a second print, because this site is heavily trafficked. This site heavily trafficked because of all the scoop news that he is putting out there. And I'm like, I cannot waste this wonderful opportunity now that he's released this great piece of coverage for the guide. All right. So scrolling through, hey, I tried to tell him. Believe it or not, there are some people that chose not to participate with the guide. There's some people that were like, nah, I'm okay. Hey, I don't know if they regret it now. I don't know if they regret it, but I would agree. If every comic shop in the continental United States decided to get on board, it would not hurt my feelings in any way, shape, or form, man. There you go, Tina. So again, shout out to A1 Comics, who just sold out of their first prints. JAF, I do believe, still has copies on hand, as does Aegis Comics of Alaska. I think both of those comic shops still have copies of the first print on hand, so you may want to reach out to them. But these are three comic shops that actually heard about what I was trying to do and stepped up to the challenge. And so I definitely appreciate all three of them. So let me see. Those were his words, not mine at all. So Mark says he mentioned it to his LCS and they're trying to figure out how to get up here. So there you go. All right, cool. So I am going to wrap this up. I want to thank, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 people that have placed orders over the last couple of minutes via the website regiecollects.com for the second print of the Guide to Smart Comic Collecting. I absolutely appreciate everyone that has purchased before and everyone that will purchase moving forward. All right, with that said, we're going to wrap this thing up because I have some work to do, and I'm pretty sure you all do as well. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Reggie Collects. Take care.